Good night. Have one time tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Armin J, and I'm also an unsolved missing person divine. I'm here to give you a little short news on tonight. And first, we're gonna start with the inflation, economics. So Federal fight inflation with another big rate increase. So the central bank raised by 3/4 of a point its full increase this year, as it attempts to tame prices without causing a severe downturn. So consumer and businesses are grappling with back-to-back increases of 3/4 of percentage point that will vary last that could make a big impact on on your finance. So inflation still is high. It still is high. And it's ain't gonna be high like that for a while. And credit cards become to be more expensive. For you to get credit cards and get a loan, all that gonna be so high. It's gonna be so expensive for you to get now. Because everything they're trying to see if this gonna work. So everything has to stay high for right now. Um, and some fear of the rate could push the economics into a recession. So some people is saying it might go back to a reset, and some people say it might work. So they're gonna see how this all this high prices and stuff gonna be because the mortgage is went up, the loan to for you to purchase a loan, for you to try to get a credit card. Everything is so expensive right now, and it's gonna be like that for a while, so they can see if this gonna work. With high prices will be around, they hope it will work. So it will be around for a while. Economics expect the Federal Reserve to continue with its regain of rate hikes. Everything will be expensive for a while. Um, so now I'm gonna talk to you about AR-15 rifles. Now the gun maker made 1 billion selling AR rifles to citizen study funds. So major United States gun maker marketing a weapon that used in a number of mass shootings that have trailed more than 1 billion in revenues from selling the firearm to during the past 10 years. So they had 5 people, these big people now, 5 people uh, that was selling the AR-15 rifles, and they made like $1 billion. Firearm collectors sell thousands of military. These military rifles now, styles rifles, semi-automatic rifles. So these were military rifles. And the marketing of the AR-15 had come under from lawmaking and gun safety following several massive shootings. And this kind of rifle was in the school. They killed 19 kids and 2 teachers. There was one of the rifles, AR-15 rifles. That was one of them. So that was involved in a firearm, including the school shooting. So these some powerful weapons because they were military weapons. So now they found out what, and they pretty much was selling it to the young boys and the young men. They made so much money off of this here selling these. I don't know. I don't know how they got hold to these military weapons, but these weapons was in a whole lot of massive shooting. So the shooting have renewed calls for regulation that will either ban or restrict sales of AR-15 rifles. So firearms are marketed to teens and young men who are attracted to violence and military fantasy. So these military guns, and that's why when they use it, shoot one time, you gone. They shoot, killing so many people, because this is a powerful weapon. So AR-15 rifles have been sold especially to young people and young men, and that's who's been doing pretty much all these massive shooting. So Federal Trade Commission forces federal consumer protection law that prevent fraud, deception, and unfair business practice. So I'm in I'm in shock that these five powerful people that was selling these kind of military weapons to these young people that was causing these massive shootings that had so many killing. So these are some powerful weapons. And I hope they recover it all so it can stay off the street. So I don't want to be sold nowhere else. You know, um, I just hope they recover it all because we don't need these powerful weapons on the street. It needs to be off the street because these weapons was a part of a whole lot of massive shootings that killed so many people. You know, um, so we talk about the inflation. With federal fighting inflation, they're trying to try something new. Not really trying something new. What they've been doing, all these high prices, everything is expensive right now. They're trying to see if this gonna work. Is the inflation gonna increase? It increase a little bit because you have the central bank had raised rates, by 3 quarters. So that kind of help a little bit. So they're trying to see if or every other expensive stuff they got the markets. If anybody paying markets, the market's gonna be high. You're getting credit cards, you're getting loan, all that gonna be expensive. Because they need everything to be high right now for the inflation to increase. So it increased a little bit because of the central bank. But the economic expect for the Federal Reserve to continue with the for the rates high, everything will still be expensive for the economic to for the inflation to increase. So we also just talk about this AR-15 rifles. They found out who was selling all these military powerful rifles. And it was five powerful big people. Daniel Defense, Smith, Wilson, Roger, Sense, and Bush, Master. So these was pretty much big people that was selling these guns to these young guys. And they made so much money off it. But I hope they put all these guns wherever they found it. I hope they recover all of them. To keep it off the street and not allow no one else in the store or no pawn shop or nowhere to sell these military weapons, because these military weapons not supposed to be on the market to be sold. So I hope they will recover all of them so it won't be on the street. Because we don't need no more massive shooting. It needs to be off the street. Because so many people here got killed, and pretty much with this powerful weapon right here, with this powerful weapon right here. So I'm sorry so many people got killed, and we just now finding out, about all these weapons, AR-15 weapons and these military weapons, rifles. That shouldn't even be on the market for sale. So I just hope all that is recovered, all of them, so it can stay off the street. Because we don't need no one else using this particular weapon. It should be off the market. It should never been on the market in the first place. But I'm glad they recovered it all and they found out where everyone was going there to purchase these weapons. So I hope that's the end of that. And we keep our rules restricted from them purchasing any guns or rifle in the stores or in a pawn shop. So that's all the show news I have for you tonight, and I'll see y'all next video. Y'all have a blessed night.